Hey everybody, it's Mrmathblog here, and this fast lesson is on multiplying using the expanded form. So this is kind of a fun, easy lesson to follow, you guys. So here's our Common Core strand. So how can we use the expanded form of a number to multiply multi-digit numbers by a one-digit number? So here we go, you guys. So recall in the last lesson when we multiplied 6 times 13, we made a rectangle, and it was 6 by 13, and so we just all these little squares in here, they would add up to, here's 13 squares, 13 more, and then I have 6 rows of 13 little squares right there, 6 times 13. So what we did is we cut them into the 13 into two smaller pieces. 5 plus 8 is 13. So then we found the area of those smaller rectangles. This little rectangle is 6 times 5 is 30. This little rectangle right here is 6 times 8, which is 48. So we just added 30 plus 48 and we got 78. So 6 times 13 equaled 78. And we just did it by partial numbers and partial sums. Okay, and also on this lesson, recall, this will be helpful also, you guys, to write 5,432, to write it in expanded form. It's 5,000 plus 400 plus 30 plus 2, and that's what this says right here. Okay, both of these little tricks are going to help us in this lesson right here. So here's an example. Use expanded form to multiply 6 times 138. So what we're going to first do is expand 138. Okay, so it's going to be, instead of 6 times 138, it's going to be 6 times, I'm going to put 100 here, plus 30 here, plus 8 right there. Okay, so there's that right there. And then what we're going to do now is use the distributive property. So remember in the last lesson, the distributive property would have been 6 times this number, which this says right here, 6 times 100, plus, here's my plus sign, 6 times this number, so I'm going to put 6 times 30 right here. And then this plus sign right here is this plus sign, so it's going to be 6 times 8. So 6 times 8 goes right there. And then we can do these partial products right here. So 6 times 100 is going to be 6 with these two zeros right here, 6 times 1. And then, so let's go ahead and do that right there. So, whoops, I forgot we're going to make rectangles right here. So I'm going to separate it up into a rectangle of 6 times 100. Here's 6 times 30, and then 6 times 8. And I know this is not made to scale right here. I can't make it to scale with 100, even with the 30 right there. So we're just going to fudge it a little bit. If this is 6, this is 100 right there. So 6 times 100, this is going to be 100 inside of here. Okay, and then 6 times 30, 6 times 3 is 18, so 18 with a 0 is 180. Finally, 6 times 8 is 48, so we're going to add those partial sums up right here. So 600 plus 180 plus 48, 0 plus 0 plus 8 is 8, so an 8 goes right here. 0 plus 8 plus 4 is 12, so I'm going to put a 2 right there and carry the 1 up here. 1 plus 6 plus 1 is 8. Okay, so we get 828. So 6 times 138 is 828. Okay, and we did it by the expanded form, and we got partial products, and then we added up these partial sums right here. Okay, so and so is 6 times 138, 8 is, which equals 828. Was our answer reasonable on that? Well, since 6 times 100 is 600, and 6 times 200 is 1200, remember 6 times 2 is 12, so add these two zeros, so there's 1200. Since our answer 828 is in between 600 and 1200, I would say it is reasonable right there. Okay, so use the expanded form. So there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Georgie Girl, there used to be a song, Georgie Girl, back in a long, long time ago, but way before you guys were born and probably before your parents too. Georgie Girl liked to walk 4 miles each week for exercise. So how many feet does Georgie Girl walk each week? So what we're going to do is find out what is 4 times 5,280. All right, well, let's write 5,280 in expanded form, then we'll use the distributive property. Okay, so instead of 4 times 5,280, it's going to be 4 times, and we're going to put 5,000 in there, then 200, and then 80. So 5,280 right there. Okay, so there it is in expanded form. And then it says use the distributive property. Okay, all right, easy enough. So I'm going to go 4 times 500. That's what this says right here. I'm sorry, 4 times 5,000. Okay, plus, here's the plus sign right here. 4 times 200, that's what goes right here. Here's a plus sign right here. 4 times 80, that's what goes right here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and multiply. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20, so there's 20, and then carry these 3 zeros right here. 4 times 2 is 8, and then carry these 2 zeros right here. Finally, 4 times 8 is 32, and then carry this 0. Sorry, I didn't make that dark blue right there, but this 0 is this 0 right here. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add these partial sums right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and add those up. I don't know if you can see that down there. I did bring it up here. So 20,000 plus 800 plus 32 adds up to 21,120. Okay, now let's answer this in the context of the problem, you guys. Okay, it's asking how many feet Georgie Girl walked. So Georgie Girl walked 21,120 feet each week. I often tell my high school students they want to stop right here and try to answer this. What's the question asking? It's asking how many feet does Georgie Girl walk in the week. So 21,120. What's this number represent? It represents the amount of feet that Georgie Girl walks in each week. Okay, so just try to wrap it up and answer it in the context of the problem. Okay, here this one just says use expanded form to find 4 times 213. So there is no word problem in this. We're just going to go ahead and expand 213. Okay, so I did it with rectangles right here. So it's 4 times 200. And then here's my 10 for this guy right here. That's this one right here. And then here's the 3. The 3 goes right here. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm going to have an 8 with those 2 zeros. 800 right there. Okay, and then 4 times 1 is 4 with that 0. So it's going to be a 40 right there. And then finally 4 times 3 is 12. Now I'm going to go ahead and add up these partial pieces right here. So when I add those up, I get 852. Okay, so 4 times 213 is 852. All right, I told you this lesson was fun and fast. Take care, everybody.